Places to visit: Xian. Xian is a historic city in the Shanxi province of China. In the ancient times, it was known as Chang'an. The city was capital for 13 dynasties. Xian is the undisputed root of Chinese civilization. It is often said, if you haven't been to Xian, you haven't been to China. The city is surrounded by a city wall. In the middle is the bell tower known as Zhonglo in Chinese. There are 4 main streets: North Street, South Street, East Street, and West Street. Do not get confused by the different names and addresses, tour guides, and buses. Talking about locations, locals will often use inside city walls or outside city walls. Getting around the city is pretty easy. There are buses departing everywhere in short intervals. If you're not confident enough with directions or you don't like packed buses, cheap taxis are the best option. Here are some points of interest to visit in Xian. 1. Army of Terracotta Warriors. It was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. The Terracotta Army is the premier visitor attraction in Xian. The Terracotta Army is one of the most famous archaeological finds in the world. It has put Xian on the map for visitors. 2. Xian City Walls. The first landmark visitors will encounter in Xian is the ancient city wall. These city walls surround the old city in a large square area. The city wall is massive. The wall is tall, long, and thick. It is recommended to rent a bike and ride along the walls for some terrific views of the city. 3. The Great Mosque was added as a UNESCO Islamic Heritage List in 1985. Great Mosque is one of the most important Islamic places of worship in China. It was built in 742 during the Tang Dynasty. One of the oldest, largest, and best preserved mosques in China. 4. Great Goose Pagoda. This pagoda is Xian's most famous landmark. The pagoda is one of China's best example of Tang-style pagoda. 5. Shanxi History Museum. The museum is a tribute to Shanxi's glamorous imperial past. The museum building was designed in grand and elegant Tang Dynasty style. General Exhibition Hall covers 6,000 square meters and displays more than 2,000 art. There is also a Tang Dynasty tomb Morels halls. 6. Ling Mausoleum has an underground exhibition hall so that people can see the archaeological digs of the big mausoleum complex of Emperor Liu Qi. Even though the area of the site is only 10 square kilometers, the burial complex is quite immense. Other places to visit in Xian are Imperial tombs and Famen Temple. Here are some tips to keep in mind while visiting the city. Xian, like other Chinese cities, are relatively safe. Just watch out for pickpockets and crowds. Pickpocketing is most common in crowds and on East Street, the most prosperous street in Xian. North Square of the Wild Goose Pagoda can be quite crowded at nights. Keep your eyes on all your personal items if you don't want to lose it. Like many places in China, the driving standard is abysmal. Most important thing to remember is to bring toilet paper with you to the toilets. Last but not least, it's helpful to know Mandarin. If you ask locals directions using Mandarin, people will give you more respect. Xian is definitely a place you want to visit if you love learning about history and other people's culture. Next place to visit, Montreal, Quebec.